Little late today, huh? Alright, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. Less scuffed edition, hopefully. Oh boy, that last stream was rough. Thankfully, I bought myself, I already had a different wire at the other house. The other house I frequent. Tested it out last night, it seemed to be working fine. I also went, picked back up where I left off with the, first file, where the music broke, just to see if the music was going to remain broken throughout, or if it was just a one-off, and it seems like it was just a one-off. Hopefully. Make sure that, yeah, mic's going, audio's going. I think everything should be good. My mic a little closer to the mouth this time. I feel like I was definitely a lot more muffled last night during Persona 4 than usual. Time to return to the Great Deduction. Of course, otherwise known as Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! I have not actually re-reviewed the video. Your aching heart, no. We'll at least get this one right off the bat, since I think I already screwed around as much as I can with this. I make no promises about the next one, though. Or the others. I'm still gonna screw around, but I think after this, I think after I'm done with this case, I am gonna put up to a poll whether people want me to keep screwing with the deductions or just get through them as fast as possible. Actually try to get it right. So I do wonder if this is like bogging down the stream too much. Just make this easier on myself when I do inevitably start, like, screwing around too much. Liberal save scumming a go-go. They still have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? If you follow her gaze and hold the sun, we're finding the answer. I already did a bunch of screwing around on this one before. It was the photograph frame! The photograph frame was your friend! You were looking over this framed photographic print, weren't you, Miss Pavlova? Let's not be distracted by the print itself. Oh no. It's a frame that is your friend, isn't it? Because it so beautifully displays where you put inside it! The frame is your friend, Miss Pavlova. I'm reasonably sure that Miss Pavlova's furtive glance was aimed at her friend. And that same friend is probably responsible for the scratch on the back of her hand. Listen to whatever it is, this friend must be small and just passed through the ventilator. I really ought to narrow it down. Let me scan around again in the direction she looked. Problem is, I don't remember what other things I picked to screw around before. Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. Somebody's telling Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. I just like cats more than girls, I'm sorry. Maybe you better take a closer look at this. Yes! We don't need a closer look. without doubt, your friend's the little kitten we see before us.
Yes! The scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Darko's my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darko would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. Victims' written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
Huh? No! Don't look at me! This has nothing to do with any of this!
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary even now! Hidden behind your back! Yes! That which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's slouched skin!
Do you see that? That's very much look like... This looks something out of her pocket and hid behind her back. She just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known.
Oh yes, plays like that are Mr. Shulman's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was a specialty. Maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake.
In which case... This was Miss Pavlova hanging behind her back.
Then what? It's a cat toy.
Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but... what is it? It needs to be soft and fluffy. A long piece of cloth of some sort? And that looks like a handle at one end.
Thinking maybe a cat's toy. The sort is common in the West, apparently.
How's that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it.
That sounds positively adorable. You're trying to hide your left ear! You can still present the ears. You can try to distract us all you like, but I know what you were trying to hide. Your tiny ears! Don't give me that look of utter disbelief. I just notice people's ears. I can't help it! I just see people's ears. It's normal.
What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion?
What exactly is Miss Pavlova trying to hide, I wonder?
I don't think there's any room for doubt.
No, in a sense, there isn't. It's clearly concealing whatever it is behind her back.
What we need to ask is whether it really is the shed skin of a snake or not.
Let's look at it in more detail. Nah, we're probably fine.
We're probably fine. She was clearly trying to conceal her other ear.
Yes.
Okay, no, it's just the same. It's the same dialogue. Damn it. This is definitely the deduction where if you haven't figured out by now that you can investigate things in more detail, you're gonna be in trouble. It's one way to force the player along, I guess.
Yes.
Alright, present that cat toy.
Yes! The thing you were trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy.
Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band.
Huh.
And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it.
Why? For what reason?
My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappears through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return.
Ah!
Summary: the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which lastly infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka.
Yeah!
Truly troublesome feline Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova? Wherever Miss Pavlova and Darka has been entered into the court record. Wherever Miss Pavlova and her friend, a kitten named Darka, the arrow she would wear on stage can also be seen.
It was after I gave her her food last night. That's when it happened. I scratched the back of my hand and ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared. The ventilator.
Darka, you're so naughty. Love a kitten. Oh.
Then what about the snake? How about Hasogi died?
Moving on, comes to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? Going into the data in which I have been appraised, it appears that there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Didn't we literally get evidence that said no?
What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There are no signs of a wound anywhere in Kazuma-sama's body. That's right! Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now.
Thing is, I don't think presenting the wrong piece of evidence actually gets me anything special, so...
Yes!
I'm just gonna move on with this one.
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report.
Ah yes, I knew it was one or the other. It was one or the other. I had 50-50 shy, flip the coin, I'm sorry.
His neck was...
Indeed, breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that.
The man strong enough isn't some immortal freak, you know.
The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm at the scene of the crime.
No, could there be?
Yes, examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively.
Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone.
No. I'll not save in case, I think I'm only at two penalties remaining.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon's been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had fallen and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes! A bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? wouldn't it be... Like, we found out from the last episode that, it almost certainly was due to the fact that, they had to do an emergency stop. It, like, threw everything off. It even locked the bloody door, but... What would prove that? Would that be the ship's log, or would it be the mark on the floor?
Yes!
It was the mark on the floor. Okay, then. Yes! Examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is the deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed! Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carried now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's lace leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable objects as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. No! Doesn't this all just kind of paint a picture that Asogi's death was just a very terrible accident? I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life, huh?
Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. It was hard to believe. The mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. We're gonna examine everything first. Ah! Somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here! It hasn't been dropped, Naruto-san, it's been placed. I'm starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes. Stop trying to sound like the great detective!
Yes!
Clearly it's the tiara! It proves it! You tried to hide the evidence in plain sight, didn't you? It's a tiara! Oh, don't give me that wide-eyed, incredulous stare. I know the truth. That 20,000 rubles is enough to make anyone lose their head! Ah! I still can't bring myself to believe it. It just seems so unlike Kazuma-sama to stumble carelessly and then fall to his death. I know it's hard to believe, the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But I feel like there's something here in this cabin that leads Miss Pavlova to that mark. I suspect we'll find the direction she guiltily cast her eyes before. We don't need to look in the traveling case, right?
Yes!
We do in fact need to look. Alright. I know this case is innocent here, but I can't help feeling that it's caused us rather a lot of headaches today. So, I'm going to accuse it anyway! Alright. Alright, now we gotta try, like, to get through this deduction a lot more proper. Do we at least get to solve the mystery of why there's a snake on board? Maybe the snake's slouch skin. You see it? Do you see the snake's slouch skin?
Yes!
It's very clearly snake slouch skin. No. You do in fact need to investigate, idiot. Personally, I find it to see how it's about to be a snake skin. But that's what it makes me think it is! Fail unless fails, say the least likely thing! Like, that's just... Say the least likely thing is basically just a bastardization of, like... whatever is impossible. Oh god, it's been so long since I've heard the exact quote. Like, it's the standard Sherlock Holmes thing where, like, once you eliminate all possibilities, whatever is left, no matter how impossible or improbable, must be... God, I don't even remember the exact quote. It's been so long.
Yes!
Big part of me wants to just present the pin anyway.
Yes!
Now we're gonna get on with this. There might be a whole bunch of stuff in the case that'll, like, give me choices. Do you think Biff strong enough can survive having his vertebrae broken? More importantly, though,
Yes!
I guess she could have, like, done the fake message. She does know Russian. Ugh. Save here in case my suspicion is true and there's going to be a whole bunch of things to pick in here. Save myself some time. What's inside the box? There's nothing inside the box. It's where his Pavlova here friend. That's right, it wasn't a snake after all. No, it was that little kid she calls Darka. Not that it's anywhere to be seen now. It seems to have left itself out of the case and gone exploring. I expect it's wrapped itself around someone's head somewhere, trying to make a new friend. Either they're scratching their hands pieces, as cats do. Point is, where's it got to? There wasn't anything in the travel case. Okay, then, This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them. But Pavlova only started activating this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet.
Oh!
Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is! I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. It looks familiar. Perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
Yes!
Alright. That's right! You're the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket! Huh!
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. Well, that's a familiar air, in fact.
Precisely! Found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asogi's cabin! As you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no!
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Yeah!
You're well clear of this glass bell, are you not?
I don't...
I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be
my pin!
I think, yes, this is the evidence.
Ahem, my dear fellow, that evidence. So that's one of Miss Pavlova's trademark dismissals, I would say. Would you do the honors, young lady?
I don't know.
Wow. Perhaps you would care to propose some other piece of evidence. The answer is really quite simple, but then there's nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact. I just wanted to see it once.
Yes.
Yes!
It's your cat spell. If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, very glass bell in question.
The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his slave last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall.
And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feeling friend Durka! I feel like nothing's been actually really proven yet. Like, yeah, like the bell was there, but it's also very easy. Like, if the bell somehow dropped off and broke, she would obviously assume, and it was sitting right by a dead body, she would obviously assume that the cat had something to do with it. So she'd at least hide, like, the evidence. Especially since, you know, cat's not supposed to be there in the first place. So even if she didn't care about hiding the evidence of death, she'd want to hide the evidence of a pet being on board. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
Death by tripping over a cat! The deadliest of cases. Action complete. Elementary. Onward with the plot, and no more screwing around for now.
Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, I hadn't had time to feed Darka. I gave her some food. Then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
That's how you acquire the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it.
Yes. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darko with me.
Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
Like the plague?
Sorry, Belle, no free rides on this ship.
I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
Well, at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again. Dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator into the adjoining cabin.
Darko always loves this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. Her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diaries was Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet.
Cats with propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then...
Ooh.
I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang! And afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Cosmo was...
With the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you've heard was the victim slipping on the... Seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. The SS Bureau is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. Mr. Asogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet. The combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. What became of the kitten afterwards?
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator.
Darko is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, that is a... I must have forgotten to lock my case. Now she's disappeared again.
Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am!
Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake?
You're right. Where is it?
The snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova. Then who is it and where did it come from?
It's your snake! It's your snake! Why would you give that snake head pats if it wasn't yours?
Why is there such a dangerous creature doing on board the ship?
Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Prizrukov. Give me one moment. I want to see if that means something in Russian. Oh, very cool. My phone erased all of my tabs. Excuse me? What does that mean? That's probably like snake in Russian, but I'm curious.
Seems to be a, Alright, I typed in Russian Piroshko, and the thing that comes up is Piroshki. Russian, Ukrainian, baked or fried, yeast-leavened, boat-shaped buns with a variety of fillings. Pierogi are a popular street food and comfort food in Eastern Europe. So beef stroganoff and Prisholki. Okay. All about the Russian food here. Huh? What? What? A snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when the emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I didn't expect to find him in here. Why was the snake in here? Yes, how did that sneak into this cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long with our close friend? That's someone who understands. Could you find someone a little more human who understands you better? Get that thing away from me. Well, my dear little fellow. We're going to win venomous snake. Is it venomous? Wait, is it actually venomous? I thought that, like, I haven't seen fangs on it, and I think the eyes have to be, like, slit if it's, like, an indicator of being venomous or not. You're going to win venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No venom. Hmm? Yeah, no. Joko does not have venom. He is harmless. Very long, but very gentle. He's adorable, like Granny. It's venomless? Yes. Now he is hungry, so he's in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. I'm not sure if I want to see a big snake smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say they milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pajoka eats mouse. Bow! Big, fat, round mouse. We gotta say Bell! Ah! Oh, so... Is that what that mousetrap and passageway out there is for? Of course! How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing's at the top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. He's gone eyeless! This revelation has robbed him of sight! Oh no, Sholmes! It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. I'm on the bell cord, and it's not even venomous. Oh, the deuce! That's on the try to starring role! It's not my fault! I do not make up story! My Prisholko has nothing to do with this incident! So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death! Miss Pavlova. I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in. I do sympathize. Please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. Oh? What? You're talking about Miss Mikotoba. What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. I mean, she did hide the evidence. Just a series of unfortunate events. An accident. I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. Susato! Susato, we literally just spent like 40-ish minutes explaining why everything Sholmes said first was wrong! But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? What? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter.
Oh!
I'm only present here for a very specific reason. Truth is, you, Mrs. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction.
Distraction?
I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable.
What? Ah! Not again! When did you do that?
Such as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping to resolve matters before we made our next port call.
Where, Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not?
What the hell's the point? Yes. Cosmo was my closest friend. Held for my freedom, even.
What's going on? In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. We must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Excuse?
Yes, whatever that may be. This is a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. I mean, we didn't talk about why she, she had to have known I was in the wardrobe since she, presumably she's the one who left the, fake dying message. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall I begin?
Yes!
What we should ponder first... the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside.
Well, we know that one.
Was this truly an unfortunate accident? It was in fact no accident...
Wait a minute. Presumably this whole thing started because the ship started tipping over. But from the sounds of it, that happened after. That happened before he died. So how did she get in?
It was in fact no accident at all. This is what we must establish in the first instance. We've already established it, haven't we?
Well, wait.
Mention of a kid that climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Wait, let's take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it?
I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. No, wait, that is weird, because the evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. That could possibly have been a mere accident. Really?
Let's show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident.
Yes!
Someone left that dying message. Truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. It's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor.
Script. It's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe.
I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. It's a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast.
Bullshit!
That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Ah. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? So Susawa-san has noticed it too then. Putting this message to the floor aside, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words... the paper seal was on the door?
Yes!
What point are you trying to make with that? Damn it. Damn it. So I see how Cosmo's death really happened, I think. I think that you are starting to see nothing of the sort. That was the evidence to prove it! Ah! If it was no accident, then what we should be looking for is one of two things. Either the absence of something you would expect to find at the scene of an accident, or the presence of something you wouldn't. Most competentiously put, my dear madam. Ah, I see. I confess your rather languid I see doesn't fill me with confidence, Mr. Naruhodo. Why, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe in you. Well, more than Mr. Sholmes does anyway! I feel like that doesn't help! Yes, it's starting to take shape now. It's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. Shoot, I don't know. It wasn't a paper seal and I have no clue. I only just now noticed it was actually Biff Strong enough who like wrote this report, okay? Oh! I just realized there's a button to review the scene. That's neat, actually. That's neat. I don't think that was a thing in the, well, it wasn't a thing in the DS games, because you didn't need that button. Huh. I wonder if that was a thing that they started adding to, like, all the, games once, they started going single screen. Oh boy. Oh boy. That seal being on the wardrobe was my best guess. Whoo. Yeah, there's something to do with the shoe polish, or it's something I need to point out in the, no blood?
Yes!
Damn it.
Yes!
There's nothing on his shoe? Yeah, shoe was clean. This piece of broken glass sticks to the mark on the floor. That's the glass belt the kid had around his neck. We already know all about that. It's broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. Do we have a satisfactory explanation? Where's the flaw in that logic? Fortunately, there is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? That's really what happened. How would one half of the belt end up back here in this cabin? Ah. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass belt in that waste paper basket. I figured she just retrieved it after the fact, but then... You care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. Now, Mr. Asoki died last night in his cabin. There's someone else in the room. That same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth. In order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yes, there's someone else present, Mr. Asoki. You are wasting time! Someone else was there! Da! Of course! We know this! What are you talking? Oh, we had to use the paper seal to prove that it couldn't have been us. Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There's no way in or out. Oh, yes. And only one other the only other person in the cabin with the young student died was you! Is that an actual, like, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, like, sprite model? Did they just have that? I didn't think they made one. It's true. It wasn't a cabin with a hat, or at least not a head-on one. You know what I mean. Who should inside the cabin wardrobe to be precise about the details? I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Would have. There's no way you could have left that message to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Ah! Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. In an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass belt that had fallen in the floor. For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asoki really died. Why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Giving Happy was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it's past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. Cabin had been quite dark. A single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light into the floor here. Useless lamp has always barely casting light. You have one single job! That's to lamp a room! How dare you fail even that one single job! We must destroy all lamps. No wonder that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny helium. You all suspect me, don't you? Ah! Seaman strong enough? Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. Before, she was dancer on this ship, a member of ship's band. Huh? You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. That's not possible! I give my tooth! Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You are a great detective! You should know! Look through the eyes! Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside! Nobody could go into cabin! Not Nina, not anyone! Able to tell me the killer can walk through locked doors! Yet, it's impossible! Ah, he's right. We know this! Wait, I've read about this in detective stories. We'll also tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. We've already confirmed that's not the case here!
Red, are you stupid? These buckets are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors as what we expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight. No threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. Mr. Naruto suggested it earlier, so... Sao-san! How can you shift out to me like that? Don't pass the blame on to me!
The seaman strong enough has a valid point. The cabin door could have been bolted shut from the outside.
Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before.
I don't believe it.
Well, Mr. Naruto, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? Way to shut the ball of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. You really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruto? Yes, and so should you. You literally watched it today! Because we've seen it happen! Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruto? Well, the telling size of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. Telling size of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. Everything's all askew right now.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things I have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before.
Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all.
The engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susan doesn't know? She doesn't know that Herlock Sholmes is kind of a fraud! Or that is in her book at least. Everything she knows is book smart! She has a 10 on intelligence and a nat 1 on wisdom right now, it seems. Whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books in the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We came in this cabin not long before, we hadn't bolted the door. But then... hello, is anybody in there? Shall you need assistance? Oh, that sounds like... Dr. Hosonaga. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. With force and inertia. Good job, Ryunosuke. You want to call it that? Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Sogi was killed, that is some very poor... That's a very poor bolt handle placement. Yes, Spirit made another emergency stop! I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin. I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. I stood them all up again, didn't I? Yes, because you ruined the crime scene! Like I said, high intelligence, garbage wisdom! And when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my. You have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova?
Are you out of your mind? You say Bureau made emergency stop! It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room.
You're her accomplice. That's why you're trying so hard to get me on this. That's why you're trying so hard to make the rap fall on me. You're her accomplice. You know she killed Asogi for some reason.
Oh, it is simple enough. You're forgetting the button in the passageway outside. Use to trigger the emergency alarm.
Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you only need to press the button in times of emergency. I forgot there was an emergency button, honestly.
Dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. So if button, one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait! It was you?
Shelves! You son of a bitch! You indeed! You pushed the button!
But it's pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today.
Did you push that too? Shelves, you're a menace!
So Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, button has but one purpose in life. Be pressed! Whatever the occasion! Oh my god.
He almost sounds proud of himself. At the absolute least, you definitely pressed that button today. Son of a bitch!
How dare you mess with ship! I report you to captain! You are in much trouble now! Not now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let's not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. The vessel makes an emergency stop. The bolts in the cabin door slide closed. So, what we must now consider...
Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop, or did it not?
You are idiot! Pure as huge ship with many passengers. If we make an emergency stop, even in the middle of night, there will be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. You have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Fascinating! Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night?
Yes!
You didn't log anything for quite a while, Mr. Strong Enough. Even strong enough. It's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right?
Ah, that is correct. Why?
And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties?
What are you doing with that? That is mine! Ah, you rather carelessly left a top little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose! That is where I always put it! This is where I put it always!
Point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all.
Nothing recorded in the log? That is... Ah! Because nothing happened!
But if nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you?
No. Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 AM, something happened here aboard the SS Bureau. Nothing sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact.
Are you suggesting the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish! If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself.
Oh? Why?
Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed.
It's very true. This is the emergency stop we experienced earlier. We all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. Can't imagine anybody would slip through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point.
Of the throbbing. Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man! The throbbing of your head since this morning. You've all suffered with it.
Ah!
Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I. My head's been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected.
He's right. My head's been throbbing today, too. Since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. And the first thing I noticed this morning was a throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. I had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why did I wake up when all that was happening to me?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
Stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals, which you survive on.
Ah, well, Cosmo looked after me. He's always happy to share his meals.
You enjoy some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it?
Yes. In fact, I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken.
Just communal head pain, I'm sure it's fine. Everyone just goes through, like, you know, shared headaches. It's normal. How you doing today, Jake? Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant?
My dear fellow, does that not strike you?
Oh. Sholmes, do you mean to say there was something wrong with the chicken?
I do.
Oh, really? Is that really true?
The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific, designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. Though the chicken was drugged, Russian cooking is not that terrible, as far as we're aware. No mystery food X's here. Sleeping drug.
You mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one knows the ship's emergency stop?
Drugged chicken. Not exactly the tastiest of meals. I'm sure maybe it's still a delicacy in Russia, I don't know.
Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea.
Precisely! Let's see, every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator!
What? Mr. Sholmes!
Well, Seaman?
Are you actually a conspirator?
Sorry to say any more deception, this matter will get you nowhere.
You did conspire!
If you refuse to talk, there will have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, be hauled over the coals.
For aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes, that's why I decided to run away. I asked them to help me.
We all agreed to help. Everyone together.
Why even in disguise then?
You threw away everything. The fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel.
Don't believe it.
You are right. We put sleeping drunken chicken last night.
Yes, I remember now. I think I was chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Man, this chicken tastes funny!
Duh! We could unuse all drug. Could make all drug, how do you say, dissolve?
Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning.
At midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was held by Conrad on shore with a small fishing boat. All the passengers of the SS Bureau slept soundly. It's the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained.
So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. That means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Cosmo's cabin door.
How does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and it would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What?
Ah, of course! Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug.
Quite! Accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night.
Yes!
The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway, so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning.
Why kill Cosmo, though?
You have taught long enough. You have taught long time and said many things. What is the point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in rust on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another.
Man, I can really go for some non-drug chicken right now. Aw, man.
Chicken sounds good, especially if it comes without the drugs.
It's only 12 PM. I don't need to sleep right now. I can wait for the drugged chicken later tonight.
After VWA. Someone tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night.
But... I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. She's just a girl.
You have to speak with your long English words to explain your clever ideas. But I am Sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe.
I feel like that's bullshit. Come on, you guys gotta sing shanties and tell stories. Come on.
Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait.
What?
I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
You hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind.
What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me.
Proof of involvement, man! You can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular. We're doing another deduction! So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance if you please.
What exactly, Mr. Sholmes?
The observation, my dear fellow. Just as I said. These two perfect... Hold on. Oh. Very cool, thank you. Very cool, thank you, howtopronounce.com. Prevaricators, something like that. The observation, my dear fellow. Just as these two prevaricators.
Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? They're tampering with the scene of Sir Sogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened.
Precisely. You're delightfully quick to grasp my meaning.
Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last time when Kazuma died.
Well...
It sounds like tree trunks, doesn't he? Hairy tree trunks! Yes, he certainly has sailor's arms. He's a born man of the sea. Even if I had been awake, I couldn't have done anything about being dragged out of that wardrobe by this man. Naruhodo-san, you are right. You seem to be lost in thought. Oh, sorry. Blame those hairy tree trunks! Damn those hairy tree trunks! Oh, he's distracting me.
And ink stain.
Oh, look at this! There's some kind of stain in an unusual place. Yes, you're right. Looks like ink if I'm not mistaken. Ink. Look at the color, too. Clear where this came from.
The evidence that someone else was there at the scene. Where's your hairy tree trunks?
Yes!
Oh shit, right, it'd be carrying over my screw-ups from, the previous segment.
Even strong enough, those enormous arms of yours are thick with hair. I have no doubt that in your struggle with the victim last night, handfuls of it will have come out! So when I go when searching for the victim's cabin, you'll have nowhere to run!
That does not show wanting in every way! Oh. Can't skip this for some reason. Damn, I thought we had him! I thought we had him! He had to have been his arms! Those arms are so thick they could be everywhere at once! Surely they were in the cabin.
I think we supposed to show that someone else was there when Kazuma died. I can think of two possible ways. Either we find a trace of something that the person in question left behind the scene, or if that's not possible,
trace of something that the person took away from the scene, be that accidentally or deliberately.
trace of something someone took away?
Observe closely enough, I believe you will find examples of both. Give them a long, hard, and uncompromising stare from all sides. That's my advice.
I can still present her ears for some reason. Why is the game so obsessed with me presenting Miss Pavlova's ears? Look at that ear. That earring's going to be somewhere, isn't it? There's such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Ah, that's an earring. The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? I do seem to love adornments like that. Their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Well, jewelry is beautiful, Naruhodo-san. Clearly, your ear suggests that you were there! I also think jewelry you're wearing on your ears, Miss Pavlova. Were we to find pieces of those earrings in Mr. Osogi's cabin, it would prove beyond doubt that you were there! Although we haven't actually found anything yet, so... What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? The truth is, that hurt. Alright, let's just present the ink stain and see what happens when I get this right. And die in the next segment, because I'm going to continue screwing around. I am gonna put up to a poll later today if I should just keep screwing around with deductions, or if I should just, like, solve them and actually attempt them and just leave screwing around for a different time, like if Great Ace Attorney ever comes up on the cookie or something. If you're strong enough, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes, I don't know where the dirt comes from. Nothing particular comes to mind about the stain. What are you trying to say? It appears the significance of this stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Well, to make it plain. A very large purple stain on the back of Seaman's strongness uniform. I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure! I would say screw around if it's partially interesting / funny. Yeah, that'd probably be the best way to go about it. Either the evidence proves what that stain in the back of Mr. Seaman's strongness uniform really is.
Yes!
It's the ink. Yes, this is photograph and the ink shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. Rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Ah! Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian woman on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. The stain on your back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. The ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means... you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. Now you're changing to protection. I arranged everything in Dead Student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed the button to make Bjorn do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one suspect our angel. Biff, please! Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. Just after 1 in the morning, I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. He was white like sheet. Biff, please! You must help me! I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. I looked inside. I saw student boy on the floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. The little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in the cabin is like Angel told you. An escape through the valley under Mr. Osogi's cabin. And he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell to the floor.
Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard the sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? Doors that locked. So she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
Just one thing. You wouldn't mind.
What?
When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead?
I already told you! We need to open door of student's cabin and look inside!
I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Ah. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. Is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last?
Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes?
This photograph? Yes, I took this myself, you know. Cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. Unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the man, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, well... Cosmo tripped and fell and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photograph seems unnatural?
So my first thought goes to, if he fell and broke his neck, wouldn't he be...
No, wait, would you be choking up blood if, like, you broke your neck? I think that would be... I think if you were choking up blood, that'd be if, like, you pierced your lungs or something. You had a bunch of... You probably also wouldn't be choking up blood if you died instantly. That's... Do you start bleeding from the mouth if your neck breaks and you die? Or there's just the fact that, like, they went... Or there's the fact that they went through the trouble of... No, that would make... No, like, using his finger to, write the message makes sense. I don't think so. The thing is either the lack of blood, because usually a lack of blood is a telltale sign that the victim was moved, but that probably doesn't count if he died through a method that wouldn't cause bleeding. If it's in the print, I don't know, the finger?
Yes!
This written version clearly wasn't written by Cosmo. But if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point.
Very true. It certainly is peculiar. It's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly crass detail was orchestrated by the culprit. Need to identify another point.
Oh, I see.
Imagine if you were losing your footing yourself. My opinion, if the land as the victim appears to have done here would be most unnatural. We're sure to reach the same conclusion.
Thoughtful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for your gentle guidance. Alright, I appreciate the fact that they didn't completely fail me out for that one. The fact that his neck certainly doesn't look broken.
Yes!
Nope, not quite, but
Not quite what they want from me. Let me offer you a piece of advice regarding the detection, my dear fellow. But knowing a crucial point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open. They were open. And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry, I'll try that. Alright, so what happens if I fail out here? Because we're not at the deduction point. Sadly, Mr. Naruhodo, but being all about trifles, great deduction is no trifling matter. No place for guesswork. Sorry. However, you've developed a shocking habit for it. It's quite destructive to the logical faculty. Reasoning is an art. And there are only so many times you can erase your work. In other words, I need to think everything through again from the start. Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo-san. I believe in you. Those eyes of yours won't let you down. I'm sure they'll help you find the truth in the end. Right. I need to put trust in my own observational skills. Okay. Wait, how far back does this kick me exactly? That's way too early though, isn't it?
Yes!
That's better at least. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe the autosave is a lot more recent. They put me here when I'm in the middle of failing. Really? I disagree with how they handle all. It's nice that they have autosaves, but I feel like they need to put a bit more thought in when the autosaves happened. Let's just do this proper.
Yes!
Especially now that I only have two left! And I don't get those back during the segment. I think breaking this up by like a week or two is not very good for like keeping my mind sharp on these cases.
Yes!
The only other thing I can think of for that question I failed out on is the fact that there's... What would he fall and break his neck on? There's nothing there to break his neck on. He had to take a pretty spectacular fall to, land on his neck and, like, have nothing there to, I mean, yeah, the floor, but he has to take a pretty spectacular fall to, his neck and break it on the floor and not, like, some other item. I guess I'll just try presenting just the floor? I feel like if that's the case, though, It's one of those things where I feel like the problem is going to be figuring out what exactly the game wants me to present as evidence. Dave. I'll save when I get to the question. I'm pretty sure I can save in the question itself. So the real question is, what exactly do you want me to present, game?
Yes!
Floor? No, not just the floor. At the very least, he wants me to put a bit more thought into what part of the floor it wants me to present. Nothing to do with the message. The floor wants me to point out a more specific part of the floor. The fact that he's... We already tried presenting the finger, because, like, my next thought was, like, my next thought was, like, his hands? And I was thinking, like, the finger, but I guess if, like, rigor mortis hadn't set in yet, then they could just, like, move the finger to get it to do what they want. And the problem is, I have no clue what exactly they want me to present here. I have a few ideas, but... because I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. He probably... yeah, he'd probably keep your palms open to try to catch your fall? I guess it's the thought process. Same exact thought occurred to me. The fall one's instinct is to open the palms flat. And here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though you were gripping something. He's got the earring! What do you mean? Something that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, did you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? To show us, please! Why, of course, my dear madam. I keep you in suspense. Yep. This is what I found. Oh, crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. Crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing! Oh. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? Truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Cosmo's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? Observe! Find the answer with your own eyes.
Yes!
Let's just go ahead and finish this up. Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding it on must have broken, I suppose. What? But looking at your other ear, I know it's a crescent moon. Ah! I don't believe it! If he had it in his fist, that means he took it off of you before he died. Now the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly there is only one logical conclusion. Would you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before you fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. And the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh, No.
Angel?
No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Ah! Think about everything that happened yesterday. It was too much. Running away, fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. Then, I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible, long day. Durga, wait! I didn't believe her when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Durga would not come back. What are you doing here this time of night, Inspector? Oh. Sorry. That was a friend of mine. Young man from your country who was very polite and kind. He helped me find Darka, and he promised to tell anyone. Then, when I had my friend in my arms again, I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, of course. You're the Gilia Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No! I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from the land of the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Kazuma's just incredibly cultured. I'm sorry. So I performed in Japan. Beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But, what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. You've run away. Please! Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I'll use another opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Wait, I think I could trust him. Oh. That happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then... Parker jumped out of my arms, down to the young man's feet. And... he turned around to look at me. Oh! That's why he fell on to break his neck. I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. Poor paranoid girl. That's why you went to fetch help? Was he even strong enough? Was on Dewey out in the passageway?
I heard Nina cry out, thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said,
Help me, Beth. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go. Decided to help. That's when you arrange things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did. Then why leave... Wait, why leave the message in Russian that said wardrobe, though? Did you guys know somehow, or...? Did no one suspect the passenger in the cabin next door?
Yes. I went to the cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stoy. You did find me in the wardrobe. Wardrobe, still sleeping.
Right, that's when you found me. We worked out a plan. Lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed the wardrobe doors and put back strange paper sign.
Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susawa-san started to believe in me when I said I was innocent.
I dragged the young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to white on the floor. I wrote, so that person who found it would look inside wardrobe and find stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
It was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half.
The agent went back to her cabin and I finished the job.
Pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway?
Yes. Accordingly, the SS Bureau did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m. Enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery.
There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you run away from your homeland. It's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But you may have pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship. Aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first. That made me scared. What he said first?
What are you doing at this time of night, Inspector? Oh!
She figured out that he had a friend on the inside.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a friend of mine.
He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me. You're supposed to be acting as his bodyguard.
And got knocked out by Laced Chicken.
If the police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you for a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Sugi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know.
No, he wasn't. He was gonna ask me! He was like, well, I've got you as a, smuggled refugee. I might as well get my bit of, illegality on the table as well.
What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but... He was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No! He was walking over to it! He was going to pull the cord! He was going to make them send me back!
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, today's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make.
What? Another deduction?
Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? We determine whether the young man's gaze was directed. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin.
That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin's my home for this entire voyage. This is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama. Yes, it's exactly how it was.
Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes! There's one thing I've learned today, is that simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. Not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. mean, we already know the answer, but maybe it'll be a good screwing around opportunity. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Cosmo looking at? This bed. I remember him being annoyed about the pillow. He said it was too thin. Did he put that big, thick book of Japanese law underneath it? In fact, he put a big, thick book of law under his pillow? Perhaps he was thinking of looking something up. Either that or talking to Miss Pavlova made him acutely tired. Pillow perfectionist! Bell cord. Miss Pavlova thought that he was just coldly ignoring her request. Going to pull the cord. Cosmo, I knew would never have done something like that. No, I'm sure of it. Wardrobe. My wardrobe. I was in there at the time, of course, sleeping soundly. Too soundly. Only I hadn't eaten that chicken that was laced with the sleeping drug. Well, he'd woken me up. And maybe this tragedy would never have happened. Girl with a problem? Clearly he went to hit the hay.
Take that!
Take that! Cosmo had placed a large book of law underneath his pillow. I believe he was going to consult that book in order to find a way to help you. Oh. Although I'm not quite sure how Japanese law would have been relevant, still.
Mr. Naruhodo, truth is absolute. You cannot see someone look one way but follow their gaze another.
Sorry. I had a feeling it was wrong.
From where I'm standing, it was quite wrong. Appeared to be out by a fair margin. Actually, no. You were out by a mile.
Sorry. Oh, but they didn't penalize me.
No one knows the workings of a man's mind better than his greatest friend, surely?
Yes, I knew him well. At the very least, I'm convinced of one thing. Cosmo wouldn't have just called a crewman or the captain in that situation. Going to Miss Pavlova, Cosmo's exact words were, "Could use another opinion here." What was he hoping for? I feel sure I ought to know. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Cosmo looking at?
Take that!
Alright. Finish this up.
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Cosmo was going to ring the bell cord.
Yes, however... what was directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
The wardrobe?
More importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? Man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Sogi's exact words last night?
Give me a moment.
Could use another opinion here. Another opinion?
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Sogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. See if between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt.
No. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Sogi was looking at. This may have ended very differently if you had. Pavlova. I want to thank you for finally admitting to the truth. Fortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. That will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. Sorry. Really. So sorry. What have I done? So at long last, mystery surrounding the tragic accident of the SS Bureau is finally laid to rest. 25th January, 7:14 p.m. SS Bureau, first-class cabin passageway. What happened to Miss Pavlova now, then?
Should we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard.
What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her?
Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out.
Mr. Jones can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then?
No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Been strong enough?
I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost a good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police.
That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosmo's death feels like such a waste. But... well... do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you?
I'm afraid you'll need to pack now. Due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan.
Yes. It's still away after all. I didn't really expect any different.
So you should get back to your cabin now.
You know, I totally forgot about the fact that now that Kazuma is dead, he can't exactly cover for us. I'm assuming what's going to happen is that since Kazuma's dead now, we're essentially going to, like, take over his mission of, like, learning what we can from English law, but... wondering how we're going to get to that point. Unless my study tour of Great Britain is over before it's even begun, then. I think only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. So I've stuck to tearing up the streets of Rogue, I'm sorry. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Sao-san? Oh, Hojo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Said Hosonaga just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life could be over, just like that. Sao-san. I had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. Now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. Though I could never forgive the person responsible. Now we know the truth. It was just an accident. It's a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruto-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. There's something I could say. Hosonaga, not Sholmes. Inspector, my duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. I failed. Caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. I'll do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. I'm free again now, at least. Huh? Sholmes, what the hell? Surprise, Mr. Ohodo! What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles! Sholmes, no! Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I restore them from old times' sake.
thing, shall we say? You are a stowaway after all! God damn it!
You think this is funny?
Oh, way of ruin the entire mood, Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes. I do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Not at all, not at all. Though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. Hopefully you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible.
We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute! It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway!
The terms of the state were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be 1 lawyer and 1 assistant.
What's to be?
In the delay of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
No, I don't care for me, but... Poor Susao-san.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is 1 lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know no other lawyer.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but
anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer.
yes. Miss Usato? Yes? You think perhaps I might be able to do it?
But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, unless you're saying law. No, I'm not, but...
Sorry, in that case, I don't think that's even a chance it could work.
Dude, I can understand if Susao and the Sholmes are the ones being like, you can't do it, you're not a lawyer, you didn't study, but you were in the trial, you saw our work, you know we're frankly kinda better at this than Kazuma, at least as far as observation goes.
Well, as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I have a month in which to study, so I must become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo?
It's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody can learn all of that in just 40 days?
There's only one way to find out. I work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate.
But why put yourself in such a difficult position?
Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
We will live out Kazuma's dreams through ourselves.
What do you say, Miss Usato?
We will take over Kazuma's life. We will take up his sword and threaten to cut people's top knots off with it. Please pick up the sword.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you.
So, what's our respectable inspector's friend to say?
Are you serious?
1 lawyer and 1 assistant. The numbers are indisputable.
No, it's madness!
It's fascinating, wouldn't you agree? We will be Kazuma! We will have the sword. We will have the headband floating in the wind where there is no wind. We will live his life. We will take his name. We will take his objection. I don't think we're taking his objection. We can't let Rinosuke's objection go waste. But we'll do it. We will become Kazuma Sogi. Fascinating. Julian rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character. No? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, despite the accusations of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. He's shown intelligence in the way he has gotten every single deduction wrong at some point or another. Clearly he's a genius. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? He says I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Not to mention you're Kazuma's bodyguard. I'm Kazuma now! Bodyguard me! Don't eat the chicken. Thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mrs. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. Wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I'd be delayed to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you! And, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh! I'd like you to take charge of this. We do get his sword! Yeah! I'm gonna cut all the people's top knots off! All the English people! All English people, beware! Your hair will be mine! What, me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. His name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been a Sogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. Well then, Mr. Sato. These will be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute free— Oh no. You shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes! That's exactly what I need! Oh no. Kazuma may have been the mentor figure who died in the second case like Mia, but Susawa is going to be the one giving us the training from hell like Mia did in the backstory. Oh no! But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you two. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. What? 3 times! I threw you to the ground at least 3 times! What? I should never have doubted you. Kazuma-sama's closest friend. All English people beware, your hair will be mine! Yes! We shall strike all English people who have fear struck into their hearts when they come here! Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. It should have been obvious to me from the start. I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No! No, you weren't shocked!
Just found out about me stowing away. The cabin door was locked from the inside. No! I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. Not just once, but 5 times! Why you only let me throw you 3 times then? That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me! Do it! Don't even think about it! Throw me to the ground, Cosmo! I mean, Ryunosuke! No, I don't even know how! I've never thrown anyone in my life! Oh, let me demonstrate to you right now. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a skill one requires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. Where do you see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Japanese wrestling! Sal's a huge NJPW fan. What do you think her favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestler is? Jake, you had to have discussed this at some point. What's your opinion? Who is Susao really like in Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jiu-jitsu technique. That's basically the same as wrestling. Don't ruin the moment. Apparently it's called the Susao Takedown. At least your head's swimming, believe me. I'll be beguiling. I'm a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I'm a somewhat accomplished boxer! Is he gonna do a yeah! He's just punching Susao! Damn, Sholmes! Kata for sure. Hell, isn't Okada? I forget. Is Okada the one that Don has as his profile picture right now, or? I think that was someone else. I'm curious. I think I still have... Yeah, I remember Don at least, like, retweeting, like, a little video with Kazuchika Okada, but looking at it again, I don't think that's the same person. Someone else, yeah, someone else. Looking at the bookmark thing I have from when I saw Don retweeting it, definitely was not the same person. Here he goes, dancing around again. Why do you be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your resting throw? Your resting throw. Do it now, I'll keep shadowboxing you. Pop up! Yes, I'd be honored. Well, let's not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Let me demonstrate. Using you, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry. Hi-ya! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Don and Val would be better people to ask about New Japanese pro wrestling, yeah. I'll have to remember to do that next time I talk to Don or Val. Oh yes, wrestling indeed. That's what you term the Susao takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was the Susao squash! In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Cosmo flickered into my mind. Sword. Ruma? That's right. It's a prize sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a state tour is more than a little irregular, surely. Japanese man's sword is soul, Ryunosuke. Can't be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. Was anything compels this wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, it's true. Did you see Ouchie's hair? It was incredibly evil. It needed to be sliced! You will do the same to all the Englishmen in my stead.
as speaking to you from the grave, Ryunosuke. Something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I appreciate you seeing it through with me.
Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you.
Sal's a wrestler after my own heart, naming every move after herself. You gotta find a way to tell them that. I mean, how else do you tell someone that I, Jacob Storm / Susato, beat you than with the Susato takedown and the... It's been so long, I don't remember what you called all of your finishers in the VWA. Oh no! I'll have to get a refresher course tonight. I knew it wouldn't let me down.
The important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was.
Me neither! Been too long since we've seen you do some good-ass takedowns.
I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. Great Britain's capital, London.
The end. Crash course candidate. Episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. I think this was the one, I think, like, Lamp was really speaking this one up. Episode 3, Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
You think Herlock Sholmes actually
The
plays the
beginning of
violin?
a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Big Rhino Kuznanoa vibes from Ryunosuke right now.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Does timeline match up now I think about it?
Where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Fancy.
18th of February, 9:21 a.m. Great Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. What is this breathtaking? It looks like a fortress. Oh? Oh boy. What? Oh boy. What's oh boy? There's some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. Today you will learn. What am I going to learn? The one other big thing I remember that I wanted to prepare for, that I remember about Great Ace Attorney, was the talk of stereoscopes. So, I thought that was a case 5 thing. Is it starting case 3? I haven't prepared for that. I have a thing I want to prepare for that eventually. An authentic example like this is quite a different impact. Wouldn't you agree? You will understand a specific reference. Not the stereoscopes. That comes later. Large craft from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Certainly unfamiliar. I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What's this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san. The Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice? The instructions report here this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes! Having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we have to return to Japan? We have to remain here in Great Britain. To take Kazuma's place. I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. In Great Britain, is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here. To have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. I don't know who that was. Oh no, you're a man. Oh.
I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happy when we're standing around with nothing much to do. I love staying around doing nothing.
Unfortunate. Some introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire.
Male Stronghearts? I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse! Are you a man or a mouse? I am 100% a mouse! Oh, It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart! Hey, Karen, thank you for releasing those pigeons! I'm Ryusuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan!
Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
Welcome to... Yeah! Pigeons!
Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire!
Ah, yes, thank you.
I really hope that's not a one-off. I really hope that's not a one-off.
I'm totally lost to it that early. Just a little bit. You got trying to predict me, trying to predict when I'll get to things, trying to predict me is a fool's errand, I'm afraid. Just ask Lamp. Fucking 4D chess master can't even follow my simplest train of logic. Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you?
Absolutely. Mr. Cosmo Sogi, if my memory serves.
Karen Lord coming eventually. I need to know the Karen. I need to know the Karen Lord. I need to know how you get jobs just releasing pigeons at dramatic moments. That's right.
The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
It's amazing. News reached him before we even arrived.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you.
And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes. You're here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see it's true. It is with some regret that I must inform you the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
You were just here as that Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
About the study tour. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
What now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
This is it then. A moment of truth.
Before that, London! So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London?
Oh, well, help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. Simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh?
Yeah, wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. City boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity.
Electricity?
That's absurd. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. No one seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes! There's much excitement about the upcoming grand exhibition we'll be hosting here in London.
The exhibition?
Cultural and technological advancements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital is nothing but magnificent! Pigeons fly! London is the center of the modern world!
Even if you do say so yourself.
The sun will never set on our grand empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun.
Later. Thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead?
Don't misunderstand me. We'd ideally like to see the tour go ahead. Without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case... Oh, there's someone else. Another lawyer from Japan, I mean.
Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. That was Mr. Osogi. At least that's what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. It's Naruhodo. I can ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? There's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer. It's Miss Susato! It can probably only be... Yes, Miss Susato!
Unusual introduction. I presume you mean this charming lady beside you. You're a lawyer, are you?
The look she's giving me. After all the days of hard work she put in to help me study. I can't let her down now. She might throw me again, or squash me. I think that's quite enough joking, don't you, Miss Longstride? My real answer is... Damn it! He says it automatically. It's me. I can do it.
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but...
No qualifications, you say? Yet you still claim to be a lawyer.
I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once as it happens. And Cosmo to help me, and I was the accused. We're glossing over the details. As you do. We don't need details. They're just trivialities that get in the way of the important bits. I've been spending every spare moment of the journey here to Great Britain studying. I learned all about British law and corporate scenes while I was on board the SS Bureau.
Away from Japan some 50 days, I believe. Not what you may call a full education. You're a qualified lawyer here in Britain. Not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realize it's far too short a period of time. But I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here in the study tour is all he thought about. I had to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I don't want to sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself. I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please!
31 seconds.
Alright?
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted, a perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh, thanks.
So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. I have a trial all lined up just for you, then.
Huh?
Well, let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes?
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Well, yes, that's my intention.
I see.
Are you imagining things? This expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden.
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. Just become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really?
We're gonna get tested, but first, let me show. No, I don't have my pin anymore!
Take this armband instead! Let me rub my armband into your face. What's wrong? May I show you this?
To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. We require something in the region of 24 seconds of my time.
Sorry?
Let's say more than 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo.
Let's leave it for now. My pin is gone! These are the scales of justice. The symbol of the defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. Scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law. They are warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. By all are treated fairly, I mean the defense is going to get fucked up if they don't know what they're doing every single time. But if there's a mark of the defense, it would be more suspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. Don't make me throw you again. Kazuma Asogi. What you're seeing is embroidered on the inside here. Look! Kazuma Asogi. This is just his band, of course. He has heart set on this study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. He lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of hope. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. Does it be carried on by you, Inosuke Naruhodo? Or rather, Kazuma Asogi? Okay, enough of that. I'm ready for a test. Test! This is a test! So, what form will the test take exactly?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone.
He actually does have a trial all lined up first already. Huh?
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today! No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be a welcome news.
Today? Hey, wait.
You managed to secure a verdict of not guilty. You'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
How do I get myself into these situations? At least you're not the one. At least you're not the one on the bench, on the defendant's bench this time. Well, can I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Just defend someone's forehead? Like, right now! Do it now! Someone needs defending this second! Go now, while the time is running!
Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial.
Murder?
It's always murder! Extremely simple case, I understand. You can't lose! It's just a murder trial! Every lawyer does it!
That's easy to say. Into the deep end. Is there really a deep end if there's no shall? I mean, I guess that was that one time when, like, Phoenix was the lawyer for a theft case in Trials and Tribulations instead of a murder case. And then there was... That kind of became a murder case with the same exact people. Details, who needs them? There was also that smuggling case in the first game of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Come on, I thought every first case in England was a non-murder case.
I should have mentioned just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, you will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital punishment? He'll be put to death?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception.
Huh, true. Did you forget that there was in fact cases of non-murder in the Phoenix Wright? I mean, I get it. They're exceptionally rare.
Surely you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly read such a test. We'd be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. I am the law!
But you can't do that, can you?
I am the law!
Huh? Is that something we're going to get to later? Is there going to be a non-murder trial in Great Ace Attorney? We'll get to that.
Don't need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
So if I may live or die depending on how well I perform in court? If I lose, you'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, look at the pigeons fly! You've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
It's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. Trial begins
How shortly? Do I at least get to examine the scene or anything?
I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Nah. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. Today, right now. Do it now.
15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. This test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Wait. Did I actually?
Yes, Long Strawheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. It's Naruhodo. Sorry, Mr. Kyle, but what can I do? It's alright, I understand. Do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. Resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. Huh?
What are you trying to say, madam?
Sigma Susao means that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially, Be utterly unforgivable. I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure that Finn won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. Lawyer might fight for his clients in court day after day. But for each one of those clients, particularly if they stand in the dock, may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. Sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo!
Oh, was there something else?
Approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time, huh?
But I just said that!
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, you can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
That's awful!
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. Cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
I'm really his only hope?
So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh,
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves, and the pigeons that fly when I pose dramatically.
gone. The Old Bailey. We're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo. We must leave at once. What to do? What to do? Sir, can I just ask you something? Why are you preparing to throw me? Careful. From this position, I can perform a Susawa takedown in an instant. I know. Mrs. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. I will throw you into court myself, Naruhodo. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom. If you need to ask me anything, you had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey. So, how do you feel about my armband? So, can I just ask you something? Nope. At least examine the place before we leave. Look at this sick armor. Let's just go, damn it! I will throw you to the court myself! Seriously, where do those pigeons come from? There's no time! It needs to be now! Office of Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture, the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority. If we hurry and catch the cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time. London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. Throw me in the capsule cell! 18th of February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defense and chamber. Oh, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Hereby said to the driver when we climbed aboard. Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you! It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Show'em stories, and it worked quite perfectly. Not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. It's like doctor's visits! Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. Court clerk says the defendant should be here. But there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to weigh in is grand. You're right, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm feeling tense, that's all. This gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. Oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It was like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Who's this? What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at this expressionless faces? What are these, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? Don't know, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, none to eat, barely paying your name, and a wallet strange faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. Tis grand, tis grand! Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mr. Xiao, you don't have to shout. 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? It's none to me at all. I like to enjoy our sufficient fun to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. That much rain even fall in one day? Wait, but so we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. I imagine that was a lot of fun in the 3DS version with 3D on. Ah! That hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you no strings attached. I want you to do something for— Oh no, is he mob? Oh? Yeah, this is a little embarrassing. The trial is about to begin, you see. It's from me good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it's true. Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to ask, but how the hell did you not get any representation? You pay out the ass. Ah, yes, Willy Wonka! He seems like he's more of a Gene Wilder Willy Wonka than a Johnny Depp Willy Wonka right now. Very boisterous type. Does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? What in blazes? Do you not know who I am? Me? Well, one of his biggest names? No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. Suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just the Hyde Park there instead of London. There's another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It's called the Gilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers in spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated to the city, so I did. Ah, an entire park? In central London? See you smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its square old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Ah, but not if the girls have a good for nothing criminal! Me, Magnus McGilded! What's the matter with the London police, I ask ya? Ha! 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 Alright, don't pass out. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce yourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Are we interviewing him now? Mr. McGill, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. But we don't have a lawyer for the trial yet. If you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What I have to say? What I have to say, you damn idiot! You give me 1,000 guineas to stand there to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. Chance of a fellow claims have more money than the Queen! If that's true, why the place is getting higher the finest lawyer in all of England? Yeah, I was wondering that, actually. Because he did! That's the only explanation! Well... well... You did it! Criminal! You're rich, it had to have been you! Yes, exactly! What now? But like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion, then you're guilty of the charges! Why you call a spade in the East, so you do? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so I wasn't sure if it was acceptable. I wasn't sure if it was acceptable to call you a cold-blooded killer or not. Is that so? Because you sound fluent enough when you're telling me what a blackguard I must be. I'm terribly sorry. I can't say that I blame you for thinking, fella. It is a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fall of the Reaper. The Reaper? In this game as well? Sorry, did you just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Beric von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor, that's a name I've heard before. Prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lamb. Is he our Varn Karma? Has he not lost a case in 40 years? No, the Reaper has followed us here. I thought I could avoid him by playing the original Persona 4. He invaded Great Ace Attorney instead. Damn. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, Hughes has been damned. What? I was reached a desperate situation. There's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You say he's the living legend of the Old Bailey. Witness, what Beric Van Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor, then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth?
Witness summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. Trial's about to begin.
Counsel, that would be me. Oh, 'tis them! What the fella? Don't let me down! But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, that made it be mine, so I had. Sorry? I decided I have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked?
Then you made an appearance, stood up law, wouldn't you know? It's no accident, I can assure you of that. This fate! Don't get cold feet now, please! I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is I can't just turn my back on him. Naruhodo. Man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen.
Not of the defense, what are you doing? Your life will start the trial, you will lose your right to stand.
I'll be right there. What's happening then? My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Cosmo. 'Cause I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. No real knowledge of anything that's going on this time. No son remembering blood. No... nothing that went on in the second case. 18th of February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Huh? This is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, I just can't help it. Oh! He's a vampire! Drac! Vernon, pick up your brother in arms!
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We're here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey! He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victims to the underworld.
Also for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
Huh? Oh, yes, of course! Sorry! But yeah, the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Didn't stop you the first time. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tip of my toes.
Well, Mr. McGilded,
Yes, my lord!
you're still accused of murder, capital offense. You can be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, this is a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even for the fellow that's doing from some little island off in the far east. This is not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance.
Is it?
I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGillid. What fine gentleman London has in him. Yeah, he told me £5,000 to the government the other day. Please, may we go and play McGilded Park? So everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. He certainly has a way with words. Or he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Jury!
I'm sure I need hardly remind you
That is a jury.
that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed?
Why is one of them playing with a nymph?
Yes, my lord. The taxes to send rattles to the gallows where they belong. I am more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminal here will see me wishing they never set eyes on me! Oh no, you remind me. You've not said anything, but you remind me of that one shitty lady from the third case of the Phoenix Wright game. What the fuck was her name? The teacher?
I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
Mr. Naruhodo, those people are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. Oh man, a jury system? So refined, I can't wait to see what it's like in 100 years! That's right, I've only ever read about it. Here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors, including that one playing with a nif in the court! Ah yes, the jury. The judge passes sentence according to the law. The jurors determine guilt based on common sense. The defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. How exactly did the jurors give their verdict? I don't know, but... I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes!
Prosecutor Van Zeeks.
My lord. Can't wait for the system to return for a hot second, never get talked about ever again! Woo! Dark Age of the Law!
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you would run to your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. My vampire wings.
What brings you back? Is there some change in circumstance of which the court should be aware?
I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
The Reaper's been out of action for 5 years. Why didn't you say him all these to make her come back?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. Summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
I must be the only ones in here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. Hours, some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Thrice-Fired Mason?!
Sorry? Thrice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
Why was he fired thrice?!
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service in the streets of London at the time. The dagger that had been thrust in the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, Consul. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
Autopsy report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner, gives cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. Photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, his face is partially obscured from view by an odd crooked hat. One further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
These are...
Good lord! His wig is off! He's wearing a wig! He's wearing a traditional judge's wig! Oh man!
Is that blood, Consul?
Yes, my lord, I sampled it myself. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What? Did McGill's gloves have blood on them?
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
Then it's leather gloves. Leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. With a blood stain on the right glove.
How did I get into this? I backed into a court before I even started.
Continuing. Get used to it, Naruhodo. You've got a long family history of that waiting for you. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time.
Only 2?
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Of course I had no recollection of such a thing. Was it gilded? You see, I rode the omnibus that evening. Whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness. I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
This is the motion of the carriage, my lord. Legend so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, it was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I was about to stop wearing but me gloves now, was I? I wish I had to give the man a hand.
What got onto the gloves then after the man had been killed? Fortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? That's not all of it?
There were multiple witnesses. The precise moment in which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. I thought you said there were the only 2 people! Hold up! There are only 2 passengers in the vehicle! How are there witnesses? Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. They were witnesses to the crime. Not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Thank you, Counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we'll hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
Your wish is my command. A300 light bulb. Welcome, welcome. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Ugh, disgusting. That disgusting ass. Witnesses, your names and occupations.
My name is... well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay! I'm a banker in the city.
I'm excited. I've been waiting for a case. Yeah, I remember you've been speaking up A3. Considering that I remember, like, hearing that you guys had, like, kinda mixed reactions about, like, the first Great Ace Attorney game in general, so if you're this, like, hyped up for case 3, I'm expecting it to be good. My name's First. Lady First. I am make hats for gent. Lady First? Why is your hat falling off? Lady First. Are you gonna be like... Are you... Lady, I need your pronouns. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present on the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
In this testimony, back to familiar territory, what the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts!
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too.
Ambiguous testimony, I must say.
Exactly, my lord.
These men went to see incident in the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Yes, Counsel?
Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage.
We're gonna get a bad case of culture shock. How quaint. I've read that civilization in Eastern Island nations was a good century behind their own. You are old. You're here in London yourself. You're really so ignorant about our omnibuses.
Yes, I'm a dumb American. I mean, dumb Japanese. Explain to me all about omnibuses. Huh?
Tell me, my Nipponese friend. Have you even traveled in an omnibus?
Well, no. I was about to say, don't those have like super huge windows? But that's not really that huge of a window. We only arrived in London this morning.
No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is.
What do you mean? The actual scene? How?
The carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much.
Yes.
The omnibus in which this blade crime took place is here today, in this very building.
Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus! Just have an entire omnibus in the court. That's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing.
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses, carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus.
So they were on top of the omnibus? What? No. They couldn't have seen it.
I should point out to our foreign guests.
There's a window up there!
There's a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
Ah, skylight. Oh!
The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of this omnibus when the murder took place.
Lady first. Prince Milner witnessed the incident from his seat in the roof deck of them. I feel like... These two are no question whatsoever, but you, I definitely feel like we're going to get a little reveal about you. Again, I need your pronouns, lady. I know the court record said he, but I can't trust that thing. That thing will 100% say he to trick me.
That's how they came to witness the grim incident.
Your hat can be falling off because you're having a ponytail in it. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Through the skylight.
That makes perfect sense.
Well, Counsel, this is a first. All my years behind the bench, I've never experienced a crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I'd like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish.
Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
AC or omnibus, that was the scene of the crime. The passengers posing inside the carriage and on the roof deck that night. I can't believe it! The entire crime scene here is evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I helped myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Hint, 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 hint. Do you get the hint this time, you idiot? Don't have a repeat of case 1. Jesus! Oop. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Ugh, scene of a murder. Horrible. Excuse me while I put the case on hold to just go inside the crime scene. Use. The scene looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. It's just wide enough for 2 gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Don't forget to look at the front. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Of course, the English gentleman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she wouldn't have to be seen here. Women like Kamol would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? London! Ah, that's supposed to be for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. A lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzling with excitement at the prospects of such a grand event. Fizzing? Blood. There's blood that's soaked into the seat. Fizzing's obviously. Yes, and the seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Did you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? It was after dark. There's a... What? Get rid of it! Throw it out the cabin! We don't need lamps here! There's a skylight! There's a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Therefore, when you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Disgusting. Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due... Wait. We just go right at the door? See enough? Step back outside then. Don't forget to look at the front! London 5th Avenue! This is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. People sit all the way up here on bare winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? The back. The front. The back of the front. Yes! The front of the back of the card! Does it make money to do so? Can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around, sitting in freezing cold as a punishment? Yes, that is the real price you paid to stay LA. The front of the back of the bus. Phoenix right on the bus! That's great! That's the best! Oh my god! That sure is the blame mission! Holy shite! This is the roof deck of the omnibus. The Phoenix Wright omnibus! Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. Do people sit all the way up here on very winter nights? Hell yeah! Phoenix Wright omnibus! That'd be a great name for a kid someday! When you say Ryunosuke! I don't think I missed anything inside, just in case. I don't think I checked down. Nothing down here. That sure is a skylight. Quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. There doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin, at least. Alright. That was absurd. We now know this is the Phoenix Wright omnibus. That's a very important detail they're just going to leave out forever. Let's do this.
Let's continue with proceedings then. Cross-examination, counsel.
Right, don't expect the sneak on me straight to understand the intricacies of British court's cross-examination rights. Alright, first cross-examination at British court. Focus, Ryunosuke! Focus! Can I clear this in less than 10 minutes? Cross-examination. What is this all? Let's see where this takes us.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I have a few customers. I remember it well.
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes. It was so cold, sir. Freezing, in fact. You have 4 passengers on board at the time. Is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. All traveling the same parts of the bus, of course, so no.
And there were no other passengers when the incident took place?
No one alighted, for example. Wait, with that, sir? No other passengers like that, no, none. Nobody fled the scene of the crime, then. Let's just say the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening, that last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spent that much at the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus.
Hold it!
You saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage?
That's right. When you shot up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. Disgusting.
I'm gonna say that every time you bring up a lamp.
2 of them were wearing hats. I couldn't exactly make out their faces. It was not shredded down in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded.
How can you be so sure?
Well, let me put it politely. Mr. McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature.
Fuck you! Don't hit my lamp, brother.
I'm here to hate your lampkin.
They are my enemy.
I couldn't have mistaken them for anyone else. The only good use a lamp has is to attract moths! Delicious moths! That's it! That's all! You could use a candle to do what a lamp could do, what they were designed for much better!
Not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded.
Fuck you doing my mom, baby? Disgusting flyboy fuck nut! Speaking of! I need a moth snack now!
Hey, light bulb! Listen closely! Delicious! The perfect mixture of crunchy and chewy. The essence of the moth! There's no room for doubt here! Moths are delicious! This is disgusting ASMR garbage! I have no shame about eating on stream, unlike you. I really wish there was. You gotta hear the crunch.
Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his gut.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened?
Did I already testify to that? Oh. Or a fair dinkum hardworking St. Banker's not considered trustworthy these days.
You mean ES You know that how many times have we talked about how you need to eat? Don't start
you're giving me that I eat all the time! Bullshit! We all know the truth! We all know the truth. When was the last... I don't remember you having a raw onion on stream recently.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
This is no good. Really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that...
My lord!
Juror number 3. The meaning of this.
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
About what?
I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. There's... Hey! Those are the something that I shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. That's not impartiality! Well, he can't fool me! There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion of the matter, anyway.
That's precisely what I was about to say.
Hey!
As a foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
That's definitely a grand presentation.
What is happening here?
Partiality in our courtroom? I mean, we're not gonna pay attention to trivial shit like perjury. Then I guess it makes sense we don't pay attention to impartiality as well. Let me see. I guess it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
Fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. The 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case. One by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. If those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm even more worried than I was before. Was that just set in stone now?
Out of the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
This is a nightmare.
That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed I did. Couldn't help it.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? You were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing a little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed.
I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see. So I was just gazing absentmindedly around.
But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly. That huge great knife.
A grim sight indeed.
That didn't help me at all.
You're like they're even more convinced my client did than they were before. Appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilda is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First.
Oh, yes, sir.
Is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief. Yes, that's it. The very one, sir. Is that...
Yes, Counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly, the stake through the heart. I would know a lot about stake through the heart. I've lost many to them.
That's a blade of considerable size, Counsel.
It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar.
Please no.
M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. Seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
Wait! Don't go back to the weak slab!
But there are M's everywhere. Yes! Like in Mason.
Objection!
Oh! The English script! This play is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. It could have been a gift! No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel.
Her weapon has been entered in the court record, largest knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggests it must be quite valuable. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Juror number 2, go on.
Mr. McGill is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know you must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish! You're doing this way too early!
No!
I don't wish to cause offense. I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion.
I'm not even done with my cross-examination!
Again!
That's 4 out of 6 jury members who propose a guilty verdict. I can't even tell if this is going to be like, yeah, we're just gonna be, because I know sometimes they like blend together. I know sometimes just pressing enough statements like gets you to move on. It's 2:59 right now. I need to run. Let's find someone to raid because I need to, well, they're guilty. Sorry, Mr. McGilded. Sorry, Mr. Wonga, but your chocolate factory is done. We'll find someone to raid. Yeah, I need to run like right now. I already know. I already see someone. We're gonna raid Moss. We're raiding Moss. Alright, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Thank you everybody for joining me today. I need to run. Next week we will return with more Great Ace Attorney and maybe even do some more Persona 4. We must raid the Goat Menace. Thank you everybody. I will see you for the next stream. See you then.